Welcome, everybody. It's 2 o'clock on Friday. That means it's time for the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on Santa Clarita's hometown station, AM-1220 KHTS. John?
You're a little mellow today, Doug. That was like FM DJ. Hey. Welcome to the Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John. It's 2:05. Coming up next, Jackson Brown. So, Doug, you must be excited about the election.
Yeah, I am.
The first caucus coming up.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's on a Monday, right?
Yeah.
So it's going to be better than Monday Night Football.
Well, there is no Monday Night Football anymore.
I know what I'm saying. But, my Monday nights have been vacant, but now there's something to.
But it's so interesting because it's like Cruz and Trump, and they're so separated, and they're like all apart, and like it's kind of funny.
I know. And then Sarah Palin endorses Trump, and National Review dumps on Trump anyway, and then you got the New York values that Cruz accuses Trump of. I don't know exactly what that is, but
well, it's kind of. I mean, I get it. It's kind of like big city versus little city type thing, I guess, is what he's trying to say. Wait a minute.
Yeah, I know what you're thinking.
What would it be like if we had Santa Clarita values?
Santa
What do you
Clarita
think they would
values.
be?
You know
Santa
what?
Clarita values.
We like movies, but we aren't sure who should pay.
Oh, that's a good one. How about this one? How about we like chloride, but only in our bleach? See, this is all good for Santa Clarita.
We like billboards as long as they're not digital.
Oh, good one. That's good. We like pay raises, but only if we can vote for them ourselves. Oh, that was a dig. That was a dig at the city council. How about this one? We like music and entertainment, just not past 10 o'clock at night. Not in our town.
That is a Santa Clarita value.
True.
That is
very true.
Oh, how about this one? We like Hooters restaurants, but not in our city.
Oh, but we love cheesecake, and we really want a Portos. That's the big one. I think most people want a Portos, but I would venture to guess most people don't even know what it is. It just sounds cool when we want one.
What is it?
I rest my case. No, it is interesting to see all these wonderful things that are going on, and people's reactions to it. It's hilarious to me. It's like all these people are fighting over the same thing. I wonder whether the Democrats have just kind of given up. Think about it.
Think so?
Well, think about it. You got Hillary, you got Bernie. Okay? Hillary could be indicted.
They won't get Biden.
Okay. Great.
Biden and Bernie.
Can you imagine Saturday Night Live? They should run on the same ticket.
Whoever wins Saturday Night Live is going to have a field day.
It's going to be hilarious. And then you sit there and you go, okay, well, you've got, maybe they're sitting there going, look, we don't think we kind of messed things up. So you guys take it from here, and we'll blame you, and we'll be back in 4 years with somebody legitimate. I wonder if that's the case. We know things are worse than they are.
They're just going to give up. They're just going to say, you guys clean up the mess we made.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to because it's not really our mess. It's not your mess. It's everybody's mess.
And it's a huge mess.
And it's a huge mess, and it's never going to get cleaned up.
We don't want to look bad.
So this way,
we'll let you look
the next 4 years are going to be horrendous, and we're going to point to you, and we'll be back in 4 years with somebody legit.
Hillary will be too old for it. No, she'll be the same age as Bernie.
Hillary won't be run. It won't be Hillary. It'll be somebody new, and it won't be Marvin O'Malley either. But it'll be somebody new and fresh in the government. That's what I think, in the Democratic Party.
Okay.
You heard it here first. Write it down. Okay, just like we did with our football.
If you want to hear our Santa Clarita values, just text us
or let us email us. Yeah. All right, you've been listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're back. We got a big show. A lot of stuff going on.
Big show.
We'll be back.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to this. What is it?
Hello, everybody.
The Gazette
Alabama football.
The Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, your hometown station.
You did it again. You do that to crack me up.
And this is the radio digest version of the Santa Clarita Gazette for all you need to know to be in the know.
And you've been practicing.
That's why our bumper music says what?
It says a lot of things.
But it says, I need to know.
You need to know. Oh, yeah. Hey, we should use that as our song.
We do.
Okay, good. It's a good
you know what time it is?
Time for Heather's Highlights.
Yeah. But wait a minute. Before we get to Heather's Highlights, I found out we have a new listener.
A new listener?
Yep. So I want to say hi to Aldo. Thanks for listening, man. I hope you enjoy it.
Wow. That was almost like professional radio. I'm kind of like all tingly there, Doug. That was pretty cool.
You and Chris Matthews.
He wins. Okay, so what's going on in Santa Clarita?
Heather's Highlights. The news director from KHTS, everybody. Heather Harmon, go.
Well, I don't have all bad news stories.
Oh, good. Yeah, it was depressing last week.
Yeah, but there were a couple hard news stories, so let me tell you all about them. But so yesterday there was a fatal shooting that happened in a Newhall apartment complex on Costa Brava, which is off Valley de Oro. The victim was a 21-year-old male Hispanic and was transported to a local hospital where he was pronounced dead. The man's identity has not been released pending next of kin notification, but homicide detectives said the victim and another individual were walking into the complex when they were confronted by the suspect. An argument ensued, and the suspect pulled out a handgun and shot him.
Let me break in because remember
blame the gun.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Last week we had the officer who shot the gentleman, and they still haven't revealed his name. And they said it was because of had notified next of kin. How long does it take?
Well, sometimes they have to find the next of kin.
Yeah, but you would think a Santa Clarita gang member, somebody would.
Well,
know
just
how to get
because
hold
we're in
of
the
this.
same gang doesn't mean we're next of kin.
True enough. Okay.
Okay. Are you good with that?
Yeah.
All right, moving along. So, no suspects, or they have a suspect in custody?
Well, detectives said they do have a suspect they're working to identify. They only described him as a male Hispanic in his 30s.
Oh, that narrows it down.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, but a cause has not been identified yet for the shooting.
That's the other thing, the motive, yeah.
But it happened inside the apartment, so.
It happened outside.
Outside. We assume they knew each other.
Well, a witness who he recognized the victim, he said the resident may have been, the victim may have been a resident of the area or lived there in the past.
So there's going to be a connection somewhere. Yeah, that's just horrible.
So it wasn't random, though.
It doesn't sound like it, but we don't really know right now. But we don't have any other information other than that right now, but you can check back on hometownstation.com for any updates that we have.
Yeah,
we'll be
we can blame
there.
the gun.
Okay.
Because it was the gun's
And if
fault.
it was a knife, we'd blame the knife.
It wasn't, yeah.
And if it was a car, we'd blame the car.
It was a drunk driver. It wasn't the drunk driver.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah. Okay.
But,
you good?
I got it.
Okay. All right.
In other news, though, a Santa Clarita Valley Sheriff Station deputy was seriously injured on Thursday morning while rescuing children from their distraught father in Canyon Country. And the deputies responded to a report of a woman who allegedly assaulted her husband at their residence. The woman said her husband was emotionally disturbed and had barricaded himself in the bedroom with a knife with their two children, ages 3 and 5.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, okay, I had heard this story, and I thought there's a couple things that strike me as a little weird. One, he was emotionally distraught, yet she accosted him. That's number one. Number two, if I'm really emotionally distraught, I'm not locking myself in my room with the kids. It's like I want to be away from the kids when I'm emotionally
I'm going to go for a drive or something.
That's just, you've met my kids. I would run away from my kids. So it just struck me as a little weird. There's something going on here.
We're not quite sure why he barricaded himself in the bedroom.
John, I have to say you sound like a lawyer.
Well, thank you, Doug.
Because you are a lawyer.
Down deep inside, no, but yes, thank you.
But deputies did speak with the man and persuaded him to drop the knife, but he still refused to open up the door. But to distract him, a deputy outside of the home broke the bedroom window while deputies were inside, so they could open up the door.
Yeah.
But as soon as the deputies got in the room, the man allegedly immediately charged at them and attacked. The deputy was allegedly assaulted by the man and aggressively thrust into the wall, causing significant head trauma and injuries to his upper torso.
Is he going to be okay?
He's in critical condition right now. I don't have an update on his condition, but again, you can go to hometownstation.com. That's where we'll be posting our updates.
That's just a weird scenario. That's a weird situation.
It sure is.
Yeah, but the man was taken into custody and is being held on domestic violence-related charges, assault on a peace officer, cruelty to children, and dissuading a victim.
Can you imagine how that affected the kids? Because I'm sure there was a lot of yelling.
But
and
aside from that, the biggest one is the assault.
Drawn and
forget everything else. The domestic violence is bad, but the assault on the police officer is that's gonna put you in jail, and it's not gonna be a nice place.
That's true.
And in other sheriff news, though, city officials are in the process of devising plans for the new sheriff station in Santa Clarita.
Yeah, in Santa Clarita or in Castaic?
In Santa Clarita.
Okay.
Yes.
Write that down.
Oh yeah, remember that one a few years ago was Castaic.
That's the rumors
Way
we
on the
originally
outside
heard.
of town.
It's outside of town. It won't be on the east. It won't be on the east side of town, from what I hear. There's all kinds of swirling, nasty rumors about this one. This is going to be contentious.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be contentious.
The location that was proposed is actually off of is on city-owned property on Golden Valley Road.
Ah.
Yeah. But
different.
Yeah, the new station was proposed to replace the current station, which officials say is outdated and cramped and too small and insufficient for law enforcement.
It is.
Yeah.
It's having spent many hours there. It's very small. Oh no! Wait a minute. Never mind. Move along. What else you got?
The city plans to build a larger state-of-the-art sheriff's station that could accommodate more staff and be more centrally located to the population.
It doesn't say who's funding it, does it?
I'm sorry?
Who's funding it?
No, we didn't.
LA County.
Okay,
Sheriff.
well, I wouldn't know.
Yeah.
You know, the city likes to fund all kinds of things.
Maybe we can give them a subsidy.
John.
Wow, what did I just do there?
You're going to get us in trouble.
Yeah.
The plan will take several years to complete, however. They said building the station is part of the city's 5-year plan.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. But
We have a 5-year plan. That's kind of cool, too.
I'm all for
At least somebody knows what the heck's going
I'm
on.
all for 5-year plans.
When do we have a 10-year plan? Or just 2 5-year plans?
I'm worried about tomorrow.
But you know the saying, when one door closes, another opens.
Yeah.
Well, Pinecrest Schools announced on Monday that will be closing all
Right.
5 of its campuses at the end of the school year due to financial troubles.
Financial troubles?
The campuses that are closing are in Woodland Hills, Thousand Oaks, Moore Park, Simi Valley, and right here in Canyon Country.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
It's right next to Sulphur Springs Elementary.
Wow.
The president and CEO of the school said they have exhausted both emotional and financial reserves trying to maintain the school business.
Now, from what folks have told me, everybody's surprised because, and I don't know this for a fact, but apparently the tuition at these schools is very high.
Yeah.
So they're wondering, how can they have financial troubles? But only they know that.
Well, they probably pay their teachers a lot.
Yeah.
Probably pay their teachers what we should be paying our teachers, which is a whole nother. That's a topic for one day, isn't it?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the president did mention charter schools, alternative learning centers, and escalating costs as contribution to the private schools' downfall.
So it could have been a reduced student population.
There's so many different options now, and there's so many
And you know, with the economy that we're in too, folks don't have the discretionary income to pay high tuition for their kids.
you got homeschooling, you got charter schools, there's a lot of different options now, and you don't have the corner of the market. Right. That's the biggest problem. I can see that.
Yeah, the school serves students from kindergarten through 8th grade and opened its first campus in 1951 in Van Nuys, where it served as a boarding school.
That long ago. A boarding school. That's a good thing. You gotta bring boarding schools back. You can send your kids to boarding school.
I had one. I wish I could have sent. Never mind.
I got 3. I don't know if you can send to boarding school. Wouldn't that be cool to be able to send your kid to boarding school and just push them away and hey, go to Europe for Okay, never mind. Sorry, I digress.
You are digressing.
But in other news, a big announcement that happened: the Newhall County Water District and the Castaic Lake Water Agencies are looking at the possibility of combining into one single water agency to serve the vast majority of the Santa Clarita Valley. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Big government monopoly. What do you think,
Have
Doug?
you ever heard of DWP?
Yeah. How do you spell that again? Yeah, I have. But wouldn't they be subject to more regulation than the individual districts?
I see.
That's an interesting topic.
Right.
I don't know whether it's a cost-saving move. It could be, because it seems like there's a lot of duplication of effort for the same district.
Well, I do know because I was contacted, being the publisher of the Gazette, with people that are very upset about this. So it's going to turn into, I don't know how much of a controvery, but it's definitely going to be some
there's opinions on both
different
sides.
of opinions.
Yeah, but NCWD and CLWA leaders emphasize that this announcement is more about the beginning of a process than the end of one.
Yeah, there'll be a lot of public hearings, I'm sure. Great. It's the new billboards. Something we'll never be able to get rid of. We're merging the water districts. And it really is going to affect probably like 6 people.
Yeah.
The 3 people on one board and 3 people on the other.
And so far, representatives from both agencies participating have agreed that this process should seek to accomplish several key goals, including adopting a regional approach to providing water services, ensuring a customer-focused approach, and making improvements to the area of water supply and water use efficiency.
Yeah, it sort of makes sense. I mean, I think we're big enough to have...
Yeah, I mean, when I grew up in Tucson, bigger than Santa Clarita, they had been one big water company.
Yeah,
that was it.
And it's not like Saugus is different than Castaic, is different than Newhall when it comes to their water usage or water needs.
Right.
Yeah. I'll go for it, guys. You got my blessing.
Oh, good. They feel a lot better.
I know. Or maybe you don't. I don't know. I haven't looked at it that hard.
The two agencies have also agreed that this process, if completed, would end the current legal disputes between them and financial debts.
Wait a minute.
Oh,
so I mean the attorneys wouldn't get paid? Now I don't like this idea. I like attorneys that get paid.
No, you like to get paid.
Okay.
But through this process, you can still expect service to continue unchanged in the foreseeable future.
Okay.
Yeah, you don't have to change who you write your check
You can
to.
still only water your lawn 2 days a week. So.
And details regarding assets, finances, infrastructure, and rates, and numerous other factors involved in creating a new water resource agency would be determined in the months to come.
Yeah, I'm sure that's gonna be a fun mess.
Yeah. Yeah, there are statements from both water agencies' general managers on our website, hometownstation.com, so you can take a look at that.
Cool, and that's where all the other cheery news is, right?
Correct.
All right.
Yeah,
thanks, you, Heather. Heather's highlights, Doug. What do you think?
Yeah, I look forward to them every week.
Aw, you're such a nice guy.
I look forward to being here every week.
All right, Heather Harbin, everybody, the news director of what is it? KHTS. I'm having senior moments here. Anyway, she's the news director, and thank you.
Thank you for having me.
Now, Doug, speaking of the water district, one of the things I noticed is that there's a little bit of a dispute still over the whole. I guess it's the residual of the mayor stuff.
Yeah, and who's going to be on the board?
The
sanitation district.
Yeah. Now, my understanding is that the mayor. And how do they decide who gets to be on the board? You know,
I think they nominate and vote.
Do they nominate and vote, or is it the mayor and somebody else?
I don't know, but I think we have somebody on that knows.
Steve Petzold, community activist, all-around great guy, friend of the show. We'll throw that in there too.
Thank
Why
you
not?
for the time.
So, how do we determine who's on the? First of all, who cares about the sanitation board?
Well, everybody should, because that is a very powerful position that controls, where does your water go and how much does it cost to put your water there. So we have the chloride mandate that's in process right now again, and the way the board is determined is that the presiding officer of the city is required to be on it.
That's the mayor.
Bob Keller.
Yeah, that's the mayor, Bob Keller. Okay.
And that's one of the important things of being mayor and mayor pro tem. Since Tim Benn was taken out of the mayoral rotation, he doesn't get to be an opportunity to sit on an important board like this because he's been frozen out. So Bob Keller will be on this year. This is going to be his fifth time since 2005. Then Mike Antonovich sits on the sanitation board because large parts of the sanitation district are actually outside of the city limits.
And in the county.
And then a co-director is selected from the remaining city council members. Now, believe it or not, Lorene West has sat on the sanitation district 11 times. Marcia 4 times, and Bob Keller, this will be his fifth. So neither Tim Benn or Dante have had the opportunity to sit in this important position.
Okay.
So, Steve, tell the listeners how the position's selected, or the person is selected for the position.
Well, at Tuesday's council meeting, there'll be a nomination process. It's agenda item 11, new business on the council, and there are about 10 or 11 committees, subcommittees that city council members sit on. That can be like public safety, the CEMEX ad hoc committee, the Southern California Cities Organization, but one of the most powerful, if not the most powerful, because they really do control money and budgets or work on budget issues, is the sanitation district. And some people think it's a crappy job, but it comes with a lot of power.
So do we know who's been nominated, or we won't know that till Tuesday evening?
No, we really won't know that till Tuesday night. We don't know what Mayor Keller will do. We would hope that he might show his hand early in the process and announce his intention to nominate Tim Benn for selection by the rest of the council. But we don't know that for sure.
So,
and again, this is one of like 11 committees.
Okay, and you're obviously pushing to have Tim Benn appointed to the sanitation district.
Yes, I am. I believe that he's qualified and knowledgeable in the sanitation district issues. He's been studying this chloride issue for over 7 years now, and he has always attended the public information meetings on it, and that's what I really admire about him is he goes to meetings that his attendance is not required at. So he's perfectly qualified to do it, and we would like to see him selected by the rest of the council.
Steve, excuse me, but don't you think the same thing's going to happen that happened with him being a mayor pro tem? Why would the results be different when we know what the feelings of the rest of the council are about Mr. Boyce?
That's a great question, Doug. And last year, Bob Keller actually nominated Tim Benn to be the alternate at the December 2014 meeting. And it certainly looked like there would be a second coming from Dante. But Dante has indicated at past meetings that he feels like Tim Benn is qualified and he would not have a problem with Tim Benn sitting on the committee. So we're looking back at the videotape of those council meetings. So why could the result be different? Because Bob Keller has already nominated Tim Benn once. Tim Benn declined the opportunity to be on the Sand District last year because he wanted the opportunity to go up and address the State Water Quality Resources Board directly regarding the chloride issue without having to speak against the actions of the sanitation board down here.
Okay. Have you talked to Tim Benn, the Councilman Boyson, about this?
Yeah, yes, I have.
And
believe it or not, I have.
Okay, well, it was a legit question. And he has a desire to serve on this committee?
Yes, he's going to advocate very strongly on his own behalf.
Okay.
I think we can anticipate that he will advocate for himself as he has in the previous years. And again, we'll ask the question, if not, why not? And the purpose, if he is denied the opportunity to serve on it, then I think it will just become an issue for the campaign that will be going full force through the year of 2016.
Steve, I have a question for you.
Sure.
Going off a little bit different direction. You obviously have been a strong Tim Benn supporter and have gone to bat for him on these issues. My question to you is if you felt that any of the other council members, whether it's Marsha McLean, Laureen West, Dante Acosta, or even Bob Keller, were being mistreated by the rest of the council, would you come to their defense as well as you have with Tim Benn?
I would hope so. I defended Bob Keller when he voted against the rent control ordinance on manufactured housing. He was heavily criticized by the people, the residents of the mobile home park. Yeah, I mean, it's really a matter of principle. There are council norms and procedures that are supposed to be followed, and if those are not being followed, then I believe that I would point those out. Certainly, last year, with Dante being the new guy, he was only put on, I believe it was 5 committees, and Tim Benn. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Yeah, finish what you were saying.
Oh, Tim Benn stood up for Dante and said Dante should have more committees. Marsha had, depending on how you count it, 10, 2 of which she was required to sit on, the Sanitation District and the Budget Committee, but she wants to keep her be on the Southern California Association of Governments that,
right.
You get wined and dined on that one pretty well, and I'm not... So Tim Benn has spoken strongly to help Dante Acosta gain one position, and last year Bob gave up one of his positions and to help even out the number of committees.
All right. So what do you anticipate happening? Down deep in your.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know how. The mayor would justify going outside of this. The only thing that's changed is that the deep well injection plan went down the deep well last year, as you remember.
Yeah.
And when Tim Benn was nominated as the alternate in December, I think they felt like the deep well was on the glide slope to a safe landing, and all that blew up last June. So now we have another EIR pending regarding the concentrated brine disposal program. So the only reason might be if they don't want Tim Benn to be heavily involved in that EIR final planning process.
Steve, tell our listeners what an ERI is.
It's an environmental impact report, And now that they're not going to deep well inject the brine 2 miles underground, what they're planning to do is to concentrate the brine extensively and then put it in trucks and take it down to Carson. Now,
which makes me laugh because it just makes me laugh because what did we do? What did we fight about with the cement mine? Oh, we don't want more trucks on the road. Never mind. Okay, go ahead, Steve. I'm sorry, I interrupted.
Well, you know what? I'll tell you what. This is going to raise greenhouse gases incredibly. There's going to be the amount of energy that it takes to concentrate brine through reverse osmosis, plus truck it down to Carson, results in millions of tons of additional greenhouse gases being released.
Oh, I got an A. Let's tell President Obama about it.
No, okay. So, Steve, we got to wrap this up, but I have one minor question for you. When are you going to announce that you're running for city council?
Well, I will only run if the city is districted according to the CVRA.
Oh, there you go.
And as of right now, it looks as if the election is going to be at large in November.
Right.
I don't have the resources to run a citywide campaign in the presidential year in November. I simply don't have that kind of resource available. But if they were to go to districts, and as we all know, there are no representatives from Saugus, then my name will be there.
We'll be there. All right. Steve Petzold, community activist, potential city council candidate. How's that for you, Steve?
Friend of the show.
Friend of the show. All around good guy. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. You're listening to Gazette Radio Hour with Doug and John on AM-1220 KHTS, Santa Clarita's hometown station. We're back after this break.